Hello and welcome to my kitchen. It is Wednesday, which I think from now on we have to just call it what it is. It's Wellness Wednesday. Yes, I am Julie Brinkley, a local weight loss and health coach in our area, but what I bring to you every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. is an option for a healthy, lean and green alternative to what you're making at home now. So if this is your first time watching, let me know you're here and where you're watching from. If it's your 15th time watching, then I'd love to hear from you as well. It's awfully lonely in the kitchen without you letting me know when you're here. Also share this out with friends. Yes, I do coach with a plan, with support of an amazing company. However, these recipes are good for all people. If you have 10 pounds to lose, this could be a great way to start. If you have 0 pounds to lose, this also could be a great place to start. Just learning some healthy hacks and ways to change up your normal eating is going to be transformational. So, and also today I just have to have a little shout out for the all natural, coming to you live to, hundreds of strangers without any makeup on. But I did it because, for one, I want to be transparent with what my routine is. Fitness and exercise is a super important part of my maintenance journey. It wasn't pivotal in my weight loss journey, okay? But I come to you today because I have to squeeze in a run at noon. So you're getting the pre-run. I got to get out the door as soon as we finish here. But we've got some really great things for you to learn today. I'm bringing salmon to you. So before I have anybody, and there's one person on here already that I think might be like, oh, not watching her today. Salmon, it's going to be great. It's a wonderful protein loaded with healthy fats, okay? So if you are 5-in-1, then you know that we watch really closely what types of protein we eat and do we need extra healthy fats. In this event, you don't need extra healthy fat, okay? However, if you are not a salmon fan, or quite honest, I'm just gonna be real, I don't eat salmon all the time because of the cost. So if cost is prohibiting you from doing this, although I don't know that we're much better off with chicken these days, but you can definitely sub in a grilled chicken or any other grilled protein that you want to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started while I talk you through this. I've got, the recipe calls for 10 ounces of salmon. Okay, now that's going to be divided up over 4 servings. I have a little bit extra here today because I'm going to feed those sweet runners after we finish. And so I'm going to take a minute. Oh, I've got a nice hot pan here that I'm going to take the salmon and just sear the salmon in the pan with a little infused olive oil. I think this one is a Tuscan herb. I'm gonna let that go ahead and get started. I do have one little tip for you. I do take a few minutes before I come to you so I can kind of expedite the process. However, this dish is super quick and I really could have done this all right in front of you. The only thing I did on my salmon before I started live was I did take a minute to remove the skin. Now, one sampling or one number of ounces that I purchased in the store didn't have the skin on it, so that was super easy. I normally don't mind having the skin on the back of the salmon and then I just eat the salmon off of it like we all do, right? But this is going to be made into a bowl, okay, like a tzatziki bowl, and we're going to love that. We all love rice bowls and health bowls and grain bowls, all the things now, and so we want that to be a really easy thing. Plus I've got some meal prep boxes over here, so I don't want them to have to worry about that skin. So I did take time to take the skin off, but you do you. But if you're searching, you might go ahead and get the skin off because that was a little challenging. It wouldn't have been pretty if I would have had to do it in front of you guys. So next up, we need to get to roasting a few of our vegetables that we're going to add in that bowl. So again, a little drizzle. I use this 1890 grill, has an amazing little kitchen store. You can find these all over town though. We've got a great kitchen store here in our area that has a great selection of infused olive oils. The garlic one, any basil, this one's Tuscan herb. Guys, the Tuscan herb will literally, it just infuses your whole house with the smell of the oil. So you're gonna love that. So I'm gonna get this. Now what I did here, guys, this is actually what I had left over. I had a zucchini and I had a yellow squash. And I don't wanna fill up that pan too much because I really need it to roast up pretty quickly for me. I'm just gonna give it a little, whoops. I have dogs, no fear. That will be a little something to play with later. So I'm gonna let that oil kind of coat that and let that sear up. Same with the salmon, not too worried. Luna heard me drop that. See, the salmon's already starting to cook. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna mess with it. We don't want that salmon to fall apart. And if I get a little bit of a browned, crusty side, then I'm gonna like that. So we're gonna let that go. To those zucchini and squash, I also have a little bit of mushroom. Now here's the thing, guys, you've got choices, okay, with the vegetables that we're adding to it. Your favorite roasted vegetables are what you need to think about doing. You know, I've come to you before about on plan, there's gonna be a few things that I'm gonna have you steer away from. If you are in a fat loss, fat burn type of protocol, or you're really wanting to move the pounds, then I recommend you stay away from root vegetables, okay? That being potatoes, even sweet potatoes, carrots, beets, which we love as runners. We love beets. I love a good roasted beet. But for a fat loss stage, you want to stay away from those root vegetables, a little bit too heavy in carbs. However, we are making a beautiful vegetable combination here with these. Let me just I'm throwing veggies all over. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt and pepper on these veggies. That is it, guys. Super clean, nice and roasted. Now, here's the thing. I'm bringing you this dish today, January 25th. Isn't that what that says? 26th. And let's be real. This is going to be a great thing to bring back in the summer when you're outside on the patio, the Blackstone. This could be an all-in-one dish. It could be really, really great. So those vegetables are roasting up. But let me show you a couple different options as they continue to cook. Because again, those of you that have watched me before, you know that some of the most important things to me is that this protocol doesn't seem unreachable. That this type of eating doesn't seem like I'll never be able to cook like that. I don't want to shop that way. I'm way simpler than that. I have to have a little shout out to one of my coaches that told me this week she tried something new at a healthy happy hour that we had. And her comment was, you don't understand, like, I eat like a child. And I didn't understand what she meant until she explained it a little bit closer, because I was like, oh, this is like 3rd grade, you're gonna love it. She's like, no, I eat like a 4-year-old. And that's, again, part of her story is that simple, easy, carby foods are sometimes what get us in a bad place. So introducing these vegetables and different ways to prepare them have been a real challenge, but she's loving it when she finds a wonderful grown-up recipe that is very satisfying and fulfilling. So a couple options for you is always frozen vegetables. Now this one I've shown you before, it's already a grilled zucchini, really easy. I do recommend not microwaving. I recommend going ahead and putting this onto a baking sheet and let it roast up in the oven. I think the texture's better if you do that. Real quick, sorry, I'm gonna squeeze a lemon onto the salmon. Let that acid start to work in. You can see my grilled veggies in a skillet are doing okay by a really hot fire. Again, really great if you could do it out on the Blackstone, but inside for winter, it's gonna be just fine. So don't be scared of all the fresh produce. Grab you some frozen. I actually found these today that I have in the oven right now, these roasted Oven Roasters. That's a new little brand. Now, this is the only variety I'm going to send you to because the others have potatoes or carrots. And just like I feared, I did let that go too far. I have those on a baking sheet ready to go. Now, I think I've got that cooking. Oh, guys, this right here, like, if this is what healthy cooking looks like, this can't be bad, right? Now, some of you may look at this and think, well, gosh, I don't really like those type of vegetables. I don't like the texture of zucchini. Then switch off the zucchini. I'm not a really big bell pepper person. Okay, we'll take out the bell pepper. But guys, I encourage you, give it a shot. Your body kind of gets used to what it gets used to. So challenge yourself. That's one of our favorite words in our plan is to stop, challenge, and choose. Challenge yourself to create a new habit in you. One of my favorite things to text my clients and remind them about is 1% change. That's all it takes is 1% change. So where will your 1% change be today? I'm going to continue to let that cook. I think I might be ready to cook the salmon. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness, it's going to be perfect. I'm going to cut both of those down, just a smidge. And while those are finishing off, we'll put the bowls together in just a minute. I have to show you the best part about this, and that is the tzatziki sauce. If you are a Greek lover, Mediterranean style eater, then you will already have tried tzatziki sauce. We, of course, are going to use one of my favorite things to bring to you each week, and that is Greek yogurt. It's a wonderful way to substitute in some great protein, but also get a creamy ingredient that's going to help lots of different recipes. To that, we're going to add 1/4 of a cup. Sorry, I have to look at my recipe. 1/4 of a cup of sour cream. I do choose a light sour cream, not a fat-free sour cream, but a light sour cream that's on plan. Now, with my yogurt, I did choose a fat-free, the 0%. If you are not in a weight loss mode, and that extra healthy fat is not a problem for you, then you can choose the other plain Greek yogurt that you would like. I added to that a minced clove of garlic. I'm going to squeeze about, I think it's 2 teaspoons of lemon, 4 teaspoons actually of lemon maybe. Nope, 2 in the sauce. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. Oops, I put black pepper and I did not mean to do that, guys. We are going to add to this. This is a really great ingredient. White pepper. I don't know if you've ever had, if white pepper is a go-to thing for you, but as a kid growing up, my mom always put white pepper in our coleslaw. And I just grew up, this type of spice is really a fun way to get that peppery taste without the black specks that I just added into this, but that's okay. We're all good. Transparency is great. I'm coming to you live with no makeup on, so I think we can handle a little bit of black pepper specks in there. I'm going to take this and really stir it up and make sure that sour cream and Greek yogurt is all blended. To that, this is the other thing I did before. I went ahead and took an English cucumber, and it says actually in the recipe to finely dice the cucumber. But I'm going to encourage you to grate it. I love grating the cucumber because that way I keep all the skin, great fiber, great nutrients there, and it makes it such that I'm just not that good of a chopper, okay? So what I did too is much like what I do with the zucchini, I put it in a paper towel first so that I'm getting a little bit of that moisture out before I add it in the tzatziki sauce. Because this tzatziki has to make it until after our run, so I don't want it to get watery. Actually, I'll be able to just squeeze it out. Do you see here how I just squeezed out that paper towel? I was going to do it in a cup towel, but I don't think I need to. And then I'm going to take that squeezed out amount of cucumber. Now, I think the amount calls for 1.5 cups. That's about a whole, we're good, just checking. Don't want to lose my salmon. It's fine. I've turned both the burners off. Those of you watchdogs out there. We want the cucumber, but now this is my favorite addition to tzatziki sauce, and that is dill. Now, again, that wannabe gardener in me is going to tell you dill is super easy to keep. However, I did lose it in the freeze, the little, but you know, this stuff grows like crazy. In fact, a lot of gardeners don't like it because it spreads so much, but it's super easy. So definitely as you start planning your spring plantings in your summer garden, along with basil, man, throw a little dill out there, because I think you will love it in tzatziki. And now, this wasn't a terrible price, but as always, I like to be a little frugal. You can just go out to the garden. Oh, the smell, guys. Oh my goodness, you can't see this, but I'm just mincing up this dill pretty finely. I don't recommend dried dill in this application for this sauce. I don't think you will get the flavor that you would be going for. Now, that is not the total that's on the recipe, but I think it's going to be just fine. Let me just look. Oh, it's 1/8 cup. I bet we're close. That's one package if you buy it in the store in the produce section, okay? Now, when we've added the cucumber and the dill, we want to just fold this into the tzatziki sauce. Guys, I have to have a little shout out. My sister-in-law loves this bowl. It was one of her first things to make on Lean and Green 5-in-1 plan. And she has commented, and I agree, this is awesome like the next day on something else that you got going on, some other type of protein. So tzatziki is going to be kind of your new favorite go-to sauce that is indulgent but not guilty. You don't have to feel guilty about having this. Now you could taste it. I'm probably going to give it a little taste. And I need just a smidge more salt and a little bit more of this lemon. Okay. Without the seed. Okay. Okay, that's ready. I'm going to set this to the side. Turn those burners off. One other little trick that I want to show you. To those, I wanted to add some green. Okay, I have a thing about green. I wanted to add a little bit of asparagus. I don't like frozen asparagus, so I definitely wanted to use fresh. But I just want a little pop of green in my veggies over there. So I took the time. I just took the bottom inch or so off the asparagus, wrapped it in a paper towel, a wet paper towel, and microwaved it just for a couple minutes, so it's nice and steamed. Guys, this saved me so much time. The days of like having to put a pot, do it, blanch it for 2 minutes, put it in an ice bath. No, we're gonna already take care of this. We're gonna throw this into our vegetables. Look at that, guys. That's a beautiful, beautiful, healthy way to eat. Now, this is the thing. Set your eyes on this, guys. This needs to be something that you envision. Maybe not every meal looks that way. I guarantee you, not every meal in the Brinkley house looks that way. But healthy can be satisfying, indulgent. Fill your plate up with goodness. So, again, 1% change. Maybe doing what feels uncomfortable, and that is maybe trying a new vegetable that you're not really fond of, and seeing if you can't enjoy it. While we finish off that, I have to bring to you one other really quick recipe. And of course, I don't keep track of it, but I haven't brought you spaghetti squash in quite a while. So I have roasted off one spaghetti squash. And I've already put 1/2 of the spaghetti squash into this dish. We are going to make, I think it's called Mexican spaghetti squash casserole. Guys, this is going to be this is the thing. If this salmon dish sounds super fancy, or like not your style of eating, if you are a casserole person because you got a family to feed and you need it to be super simple and easy ingredients, this is your go-to. This spaghetti squash, I did roast it off in the oven. You know, there's several different ways to do that. You can do it in your Instapot. You can do it, I bet you could do it in the microwave. I don't know about that, but you probably could. You can actually buy it frozen. I don't mind the frozen spaghetti squash. It looks like this right here. You can get it in the freezer. I do recommend you put it on a baking dish and roast it in the oven instead of microwave. I don't know why. It's just a thing. I think you're gonna like it better. So we've started our base. Now the recipe says you can add all of this together in one bowl and then put it in your casserole dish. I kind of like layers, so I'm gonna layer that first. And to that, now the reason I chose this dish, yes, I wanted to bring you something quick and easy to go with something maybe that took a little bit more time to chop, okay? But the main reason I brought it to you is because I had leftover taco meat, okay? Let's just be real. I fed some college kids this week, and I wanted to make sure that I got to use up this taco meat. Now, we've already had it like on a taco salad. There's so many different things that I can do with this base, and that is just simple lean ground beef. We're gonna add to that a can of mild Rotel. Again, if the spice of a Rotel type tomatoes bothers you, then you can always go to just diced tomatoes and add some different seasonings. We are gonna add to, oh, nope, not yet. So this mixture, now, I already cooked this. So I just added the Rotel. I did drain it so I didn't have extra juice, but this is ready to go. Whereas if you are making this fresh, then you, I'm sorry to interrupt. Hey Dana, Hoka's ready. Okay, sorry, just got a text from our groomer. So what we're gonna do now is super exciting. Oh, I think I have to have another bowl. So let's just rinse that out right fast. Now again, this application could be a super simple weeknight, throw it together after work. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. We're gonna add half a cup of that same low fat or no fat Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. Again, not just a source of creaminess and indulgent, but it also throws in a little bit of our protein for the dish. Then we're gonna add to that just a store bought, can. Okay, we're not making this difficult. This is enchilada sauce. However, I did want to show to you, I am a comparison shopper. I tell you every week, don't trust the labels. Between the two, not bashing this one, just saying, between the two, I want for sure no added sugars. But the other thing I'm really looking for is, are the carbs, is there a way to cut back on carbs? This one's 4 carbs, this one's 3 carbs. However, this one has less sugars, okay? So again, sometimes it's a half a dozen of one and 6 of the other, but do be mindful of that. Don't just take it for granted. And to that, we added just half a cup of that enchilada sauce. And we need to add a half a teaspoon of chili powder. That's gonna give us a great Mexican, deepen the flavor a little bit there, half teaspoon. And now this part of the mixture, now I had my cream cheese out for a little bit, and so it kind of had a chance to soften a little, but don't worry about it. If yours is kind of lumpy, it'll be fine. Actually, mine was out and it softened quite a bit. And again, on that cream cheese, it's not indulgent. It's just low-fat cream cheese. And it's a great way to be able to take a recipe up and kind of give you that warm fuzzy of maybe when you used to eat a lot of casserole dishes that weren't really smart, or moderation. I tell you what, when I was a new mom making casseroles, it was a stick of butter, block of cheese, package of cheese. All the things, I didn't worry too much. Now I get to use those same ingredients. It's just in a more moderate way and really understanding the food a little bit. Now to that, I'm adding 1 1/4 pound of beef, okay? And so that's a big portion of my protein. But the Greek yogurt is gonna finish this off. And I believe this is four servings. Now, why that's important to those of us on plan is that we need to make sure that whatever dish you put it in, that you are mindful of that. Now, I chose this large casserole dish because I don't mind it being a little thinner. But guys, this is gonna be an ample serving tonight when we warm this up. Even though it's thin, it's gonna be a great serving size, okay? So you'll see, I'm kind of just stirring, folding that cheese mixture in. Let me show you what it's gonna look like. Okay, now yours might look a little creamier because I think my meat may be a little bit on the heavy side. I didn't want to waste what I had left over. I did measure it, but it was already pre-cooked, so might have went a little heavy there. Put that layer right on top of that, and to that, again, just a little bit extra protein here. We're gonna add, let's see, 2/3 of a cup. Now this is the part I love, guys. Yes, this is cheesy on the top, but look guys, it's very moderate. No need to coat it so thick. I think I've seen it where it's a little thicker, but I prefer this. Anytime I get to where I'm doing a dish like this and I can go a little bit more sparse and it's still gonna taste just as good, do that. I'm gonna stick this in the oven. Now I want to show you our bowl assembly. Now, I'm going to be real. I left my cauliflower rice in the oven a little bit too long. It's not the first time that's happened. A little distracted, but yeah, I'll show you in a second. So if you are on plan, this is a great opportunity. Cauliflower fried rice, cauliflower rice at the bottom, the base of this. However, today, as I've already told you, my buddies that I'm running with in just a few minutes are runners, okay? And so a little bit of grain is a very healthy thing. You guys that are on 5-in-1, this is something to note for future, because when we transition, bringing grains back into our diet is super important, and actually one of the hardest things to do, because you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm so scared. Does it always have to look like bread? No, this one's just a microwave quinoa and brown rice. And so we're gonna literally not take a lot, take just a little, probably a half a cup of that. Well, actually, I don't think I got that. Microwave. You can do that right in the microwave, 90 seconds, and you're good to go. Other options, just plain brown rice. Again, the cauliflower rice. Those are great options for your base. And to that, we're gonna add a portion of our salmon. Actually, let's do the veggies first. On plan, we're looking at 3 half-cup portions of vegetables a day, so easily you could get it there. Now, I'm not gonna dress this on top. Actually, I will be making it for my husband here in just a second, and I will dress his with the tzatziki sauce. And also a really great addition is a little fresh cucumber on the side. I'm gonna add that for their little, to get that cold crunch with your warm rice bowl of sorts. Guys, this is clean, healthy eating at its best. And I think you would be surprised if you would have been here earlier. I took maybe 30 minutes, mainly, to clean my kitchen and to prep up a few things, but this is simple, easy steps. So if you are looking for a plan, I would love to help you with a plan that not only, yes, produces fairly rapid weight loss, but more importantly, it gives you a partner to walk alongside you, to cheer you on, and to point you in the right direction as to what part of this plan is teaching you to be a healthy person forever. And that, I actually love doing this every week because I have so many people who aren't on plan, and I still get such great response that they're baking these recipes, they're cooking better, they're trying new things, they're seeing themselves as not a 4-year-old eating anymore, and that's a beautiful thing. So I would love to help you on plan. Reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, Julie Brinkley, or otherwise known as Motivation with Brink. It's a joy to come to you every week. I'd love to help you. Until I see you next week, be nice.